Hey everybody, it's Mike with CloseGPT, and I just got off a Zoom call with a new customer, and they paid $3,000 when they signed up, and I immediately jumped on a Zoom call with them so we can go over, the setup process. I can show them how to create the AI employees and how we can really adapt this into their business. Now, this was actually a business coaching service, which is really cool. So we're gonna get to see insights into a new type of business, see how they adapt it to their business, and see how we actually propose new ideas on different ways they can use the AI employees. So the first thing you're gonna see is how we're gonna use this AI employee to help get people to the order page. And then the second AI employee that we created is actually more of just like a check-in, a weekly check-in, where it's going to see if people in the coaching program accomplish their goal for the week and try to offer advice and motivate people to reach those goals. So this is going to be the raw, unedited Zoom clip right here, so we can just dive in. You can see what we did and how we did it and the tweaks we made to the AI employee along the ways, because I really want you guys as agencies to be successful out there selling this and scaling your business with CloseGPT. So I hope you guys find this content useful. I want to do a lot more of this to come, but let's dive in and let me know what you think down below in the comments. So thank you. Let's see, I'm recording it now. All right, perfect. So as soon as you log in, we can jump into the AI employees. You can use one of the built-in templates in here. We have like 36 different types of templates. I love using the custom one. Really makes it custom. And so for this, we're just going to go ahead and give it a goal and give it context. So you said you have a coaching platform
Yeah,
on
so
here.
let's just build it for that one. And this is going to be eventually it would be a chat bot on the page, but for now we could probably just say, hey, have a question, send us a text.
Okay. Okay.
And
Perfect. So let's do this right here. So I'm just going to type in a goal right here based on what you said. So conversation goal, your goal is to get people what do you want to do again? You want to get them
I
to
want them to I want them to sign up. I want to answer their questions and concerns and get them to sign up for a $7 trial.
our $7 trial of Go Focus Elf. And then I'll tell them what Go Focus Elf is. I'm just going to copy some info on your website, and I'll make this a little bit easier to read. Go
Focus
Focus.
Focus Elf is what it's called. Yeah. I just Go
Okay.
Focus Elf as like a little tongue in cheek. Like if you say it fast enough, it sounds like something else.
Nice. Focus Elf helps businesses grow faster with fractional project management for entrepreneurs. Um, Perfect. And after you answer any questions that a user has about our program, you must send them a link to sign up for the seminar trial. Is there anything else you wanted to do? Like if they don't want to sign up now, do you want them to like book a meeting
They
or
could, yeah, if you have more questions and you want to talk to somebody, that's totally fine.
person doesn't want to sign up for the trial now and wants to speak with someone, um, you will book an appointment. All right, so conversation purpose, why we reach out to people. So we're going to say something like you are reaching out to people interested in the Focus Health program. All right, that's pretty much it. This is going to give us a really good starting point. So your industry, what would you call this? Like a coaching course?
Bus- Yeah, business coaching, maybe something like that.
Coaching. Okay. Business coaching, company name, focus.
Focus.
Oh, do you like one word or two? One word?
It's and the ELF is capitalized. It's an acronym.
You said what, one word or two?
It's two
Oh,
words. The ELF is capitalized because it's an acronym.
okay. Sorry, I was putting in focus elf instead
That's
of
right.
focus.
Focus. That's it's focus. The next word is ELF, but ELF is capitalized because it's an acronym.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so it's two words.
Perfect. Two words. Okay.
There you go. Just
Focus
like
elf. Got it. All right. So now we can click on next. We're going to give this a name. Do you have a name in mind?
let's go with Ashley.
All right. And job title.
Um, customer support.
All right. Perfect. So now this is going to take about 2 minutes, and we get to stare at this lovely blue blob and
So all of those things that
read
you
stuff.
just did, I can go back and edit them later.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
100%. So this is going to give us the starting point. We can go in and review what it did. We can tweak it. There's going to be some things we need to do, like put in the link that you want it, the AI to give.
Sure.
We'll need to plug in your calendar, so it can actually offer availability. Um, and we'll be off to the races.
And then as far as the availability, is it able to book the call in context, or is it just going to send a link? What I mean by that is, can it say, "Hey, I have some time available next Tuesday at 2. Will that work?" Or is it just going to send a link?
So we can do it either way, right? And so we integrate with like Google Calendar, for example. So if we connect your calendar, it can actually read your availability, propose times, and it'll go back and forth trying to book a time.
Okay.
Some people want to just send the link, and you can do that too. But I like the more conversational way of booking, where it just proposes
Well,
times.
just yeah, just for I've just learned over time it keeps you in control of the conversation. If I send somebody a link, I have no control over whether or not they click it.
Yeah, and it's much easier. Just do it while you got them engaged, right? Don't send them away from the chat. So I think that's good. Very cool.
Blue blobbing. And so while we're waiting on the blue blob, uh, you would say for my book a call, um, we would maybe create a different one that is actually doing outreach to my incoming leads.
Yeah, so we're talking about, I think, three different ways we could really use this. One way you could do for like inbound lead gen, where we get a phone number for your AI employee, and you can do ads or social media posts that says something like, "Hey, text this phone number to speak with a live coach now," right?
Mhm.
Something like that, or the AI coach now. That can have a different objective, right? It's more about capturing the lead, maybe qualifying them, and then sending them to the link. So we could do that. We could also do an AI employee for the back end part of your course. So it can actually answer questions on the materials that you have in there for members, which would be really cool. And then we talked about being able to use this with the chat widget that we're going to launch on the front end on your sales site.
Okay.
But let's look at what it kind of got for us out of the gate. So it has our goal there. I created an opening message. Focus Self. We offer a 7-day trial for our program that helps businesses grow faster. Are you interested in trying it out? Now we can always edit these opening messages here. But we got these stages. So we got introduction, introduce yourself. We got understanding requirements, asking their business and their specific needs, right? Explaining the program, addressing queries, and then closing. Now, the one thing I noticed is right out of the gate, it didn't really connect closing to anything. So we probably want to change that. So let's go ahead and just update that. So we're going to make it so this one can go to closing, make it so the questions can go to closing, and we'll make it so the closing can go to end conversation.
So how did you get to this? Show me what you did to get to this stage here, this page that you're showing me. You just
Yeah,
clicked
so when you click on one of these stages, it's kind of broken up into sections. So the first part is the stage instructions, then you got actions, then you have conversation vision. So I just clicked on this to expand it. And if you see these little lines on the left shows you like this stage introduction, which ones can it continue to? And so these are just the checkboxes that are set. So I just click on that. So after it introduces itself, it can go to these stages. And so you can see they're all how they're all connected.
Can you
Um,
give me just really quick some very, very simple examples of somebody gets to the intro, they can go, depending on their answer, they can go to stage two, three, or four,
yeah.
but currently not beyond it. So
Mhm.
if somebody gets on there and says, screw you, robot, like they just like fritz out because they're not connected to the end conversation or what?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And that would be a great practice is to always give someone a way to end, right? So we could go in here, click on introduction, and just go ahead and click on end conversation, not interested. You will probably want to give them a way to do that on, kind of every step. I think that's a good option. So we can just go through and click on all these. Now, no matter where they are, they can always get to end conversation, not interested.
And so if we hadn't done that, then the robot just keeps pestering them or what?
It's not going to keep pestering them, but it's going to keep trying to steer the conversation back to the stages, right? Because its goal is to walk them through the stages, and if one of them isn't end conversation, it might give you an undesired result. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Understood.
So let's not change any of the prompting out of the box, and let's just kind of experiment and see how it did. So, you interested in trying it out? Maybe I have some questions first. Right? And we haven't even fed it your website yet for the training. So the answers it's going to give are just going to be based on general industry knowledge, but we can feed it your website to make it smarter. What specific information are you looking for? So do you have a question? We can just try to throw it off really quick and
Uh,
see
yeah. How does the coaching work?
how does the coaching work? Let's see. And so as it's responding, you can see, it does tell you what stage it's in. So it's addressing queries, addressing questions. I also put a little icon right here telling you the kind of the sentiment of the chat. So this is just neutral um, right here. Let's
Like
see.
it's picking up that the customer is potentially upset or enthusiastic or what?
It's just picking up that the customer is neither upset nor enthusiastic, right? They're just kind of neutral.
Okay,
So
understood.
um, I'll show you what we can do with that a little bit later. But this is a great example of what the AI does when it's unsure of a response. Because remember, we haven't plugged in your website or anything yet. So we're asking, how does it work? It's going to give us a response. It's just unsure if that's the most accurate response, which is amazing. So what do you think of this response? It says coaching involves personalized guidance and support to help you manage your projects more effectively and grow your business faster. Our coaches work with you to identify key areas for improvement, set goals, and develop a plan for action. What do you think of that response?
I mean, it's pretty good. I would spice it up a little bit, but
Hmm.
generally speaking, that's what it is.
Cool. Cool. Well, this action right here that it took, unsure of response, tells us that this is an opportunity where we can go in and make the AI smarter. And anytime you're working with the bot and you're like, oh, I think I should have updated the vision, you can always click on this. It's a quick little shortcut. You can link this stage to other stages here without, leaving a chat, which is kind of cool. Um, so let's actually do that. Let's make the bot smarter now. So I'm going to actually go into the AI training data. And so we're just going to go ahead and take your website uh, and plug it in here. So I'll copy the URL, put in your website. And so right now it's downloading your website. So it looks like you got a lot of good information on your website. Talks about what you get, right? The weekly one-on-one calls, dedicated project manager. So these are all things that the AI will be able to answer. So it already downloaded and trained, right? There's 2 pages it picked up on here. You can always
Yeah.
click on edit and see all the text it got.
Yep.
Cool. So now we can go back in and try this again and see what we get. So are you interested in trying it out? Maybe. I have questions.
Ashley's a thinker.
Yeah.
Also, she looks like a dude.
Yeah, I think Ashley is a dude in this case. So we can
Ashley's I went to school with a couple of dudes named Ashley.
yeah.
It'd be done.
Yeah.
We'll
And you can
update.
always change the image, just click on
We'll,
it.
we'll update the image. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna ask the same question this time. I'll be able to see if it has that on there, or if we need to add additional training data to it. And I can show you how we can do that.
And so for right now, on the on the website, there's an FAQ like, "Hey, what if I have more questions?" Then we
Hmm.
can say, "Just text us." And
Hmm.
when we text them, it's going to be texting the bot.
Hmm. Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
So this would be happening in their phone right now.
Yep, yep,
Okay,
100%.
got it.
Perfect. And let's see what else we got on here. That's still thinking. So let's see, wait for it to come back. Seem to hit a snag. Save your employee and try again. So let me just trigger the save and try that again. So would you like to know about it?
Why
Yes.
don't we just ask how does the coaching work? Why don't we just go directly to it?
Okay. Okay. I already sent it.
That's what
We can try that
that's what
next.
I would do. So so have you seen while we're waiting on this on the conversation goal and purpose, have you seen a certain amount of detail that you need to add in there to get a better experience, or what you put in pretty much good enough?
What we put in is pretty much good enough. The way that the AI is set up is it's gonna always try to redirect them back to the sales stages, even if it doesn't know the answer. So it'll say things like, "That's a great question. Let me help you with that. But first, what's your first name?" Right? So it's gonna, kind of dodge it a little bit to get there. So that is, one of the cool things about it. Now, you can always get the answers more personalized, right? So it's trying to kind of having to figure out this answer based on what's on your website, but you can actually add specific answers to questions on here. So if I want to come in and say question and answer, right? And you can say, how does the coaching work? You can say, and you give a specific answer. Our coaching, I can type it in here. How does the coaching work? Our coaching works by offering you a, you know, library of videos to guide you through the process. Right? You can come up with any sort of answer here.
And is it going to pick up how does coaching work, or can you tell me about the coaching? Is it going to pick that up and give you like understand that's the same question?
Yeah, yeah, it will. And so I'll give you an example in like the real estate context. You could say, hey, I'm looking to buy a new crib, right? And it'll pick up that like crib is home, right? So it'll come up with things that are similar, um, and topic wise. So how does the coaching, and we can always add more things in here. How does the coaching class work? And just kind of like more things to kind of like almost like keyword stuffing. You can think about it, things that'll help it get that. So we can go ahead and start training again. Wait for that to finish. Click away and come back. It's already done. Now let's just go directly to that question. And I'll type another variation of that. So how does what's another
How,
variation?
how does it work with the coach?
How does it work with the coach? See, so this was the answer we
Yeah.
put in there. It says based on training data, so we know that it pulled that from there. So I'm going to send this now. How does it work with the coach? There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the other thing that stood out when you asked it before you trained it, it took it took words from my website and repurposed them in there.
Hmm.
But they were all words from my website,
Hmm.
and so is I mean it's understandable. Like if somebody reads the whole page and then they go and they ask a question,
Hmm.
and I guess it's just like, hey,
Yeah.
dummy, didn't you read the damn page? Here, let me summarize it for you.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah. I
okay.
mean, it's definitely taking the content on your site and putting its own little spin on it, kind of working it
Sure.
into the conversation. You may have some of these things verbatim on your site, and it's just like you said, just taking what's relevant, sticking it in there. How much does it cost? And like, here you go. So,
Yeah, understood.
yeah.
Okay, and so now you've okay, so it did follow up with a question to get started.
Questions about the program. So that is right here. It jumped from 3 to 4 addressing queries. So we can go
Because
ahead and
because it's
update.
not because three is not attached to the closing.
It looks
Three's
like
not
3
attached.
is attached to the closing.
Oh yeah, it
But
is.
we can tell it to basically, skip. If someone wants to get started, don't, ask if they want more questions, just go in for the close. And what I would actually do for the close, normally we would just hook it up to, oh, you want to actually send the link. That's right. Okay. So,
Well, it depends, but if well, let me ask you this because I was on your website
mhm.
and one of the things that I saw is you're able to take payments, right?
Hmm. Uh, can't take payments through the chat. That's like a security thing.
Right.
But what we
Right.
can do is send a link to the payment form. They can check out that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be what I would do.
Okay. Perfect. So I see you got the order form link on your site. So let's talk about, let's just, update this closing and let's say closing. That's fine. Okay. So let's say if the user wants to get started, you must send them this link to sign up. Um, Once you give the user the link, they can immediately access the course online. All right, something like that. We can always tweak it. So let's just do ready to sign up as the title. I click save. And so after we explain the program, it says ensure the user understands the program, ask if they have any questions, and say if they are ready to sign up, then uh, proceed to ready to sign up. There
Okay.
we go.
So we would just, I would probably just for safety, I would probably just put that instruction in every step.
Yeah, you
That makes
you
sense.
you can, and we don't even have like the ability to go to ready to sign up from the introduction. I mean, maybe just someone sends that as the first message. I mean, we could just
Where's
check
the
it
sign
there
up
too.
link? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we just check it on all of them.
Yeah.
So
And so, and then would you say that it makes sense just to be super safe in the description of each of these phases, just add that sentence. That way there's just like no confusion for the robot. Like at
yeah,
any
you
time
can.
you like there you can tell them where to go to buy.
Yeah, yeah, you can, and you can see now we don't even have to do that most of the time because it can read all the
Yeah.
stages and it'll know where to go. So I just sent this as
Okay.
the first message, and here you go.
Yeah.
Uh, so, but we can experiment that in different places. How can I say today? How much is the trial? And then
Ask
maybe
it.
I'll ask for the sign up link next.
Ask it how much it is after the trial.
Okay.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, let's do it. There you go.
Oh, it even did a hyperlink. Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
That's
So
great, man.
that's pretty much it. I mean, pretty easy to get set up. Now I want to show you some of the other features in here that you can use. So under settings, I was showing you that sentiment approval or the sentiment rating. If you ever, and this is on by default and you can change it, but it's set up by default to not respond to a very negative sentiment. It's actually going to hold that response waiting for you to approve it. Now, I've always seen the AI give amazing responses to negative sentiment, but that may be something that you just want to handle personally. Someone says like, screw you guys, whatever, right?
Yeah.
The AI's going to say something like, I'm sorry, I'm here to help you. But maybe that's something you want to respond to. So that's on by
Okay.
default. Then the other thing is, when we saw that the red label said unsure of response, you can actually control what you want the AI to do when it doesn't know the answer to something. And by default, it's on auto mode. So it's still going to reply, right? And it's going to use its best effort to give a good response. But maybe you don't want to send those, right? And that way you kind of get notified of when you need to update the training. So you can put it on manual mode, or you can have it roll over to human, right? So it just goes to Hugh and you can pick up the conversation where it left off. And then you see, oh, maybe I need to add that FAQ to my website or my training data. Um, that could be a good way to use that. So it's on auto mode by default. Um, that's pretty much it. So
Okay.
that's it.
Follow-up question. So, one thing can you go back to the different, you had like seven stages the stages.
Mhm.
So just click on any one of those for the settings. It says down here, revive attempts, 8 hours to 24 hours.
Yeah.
Are we able to customize the way that they do that? Like in a one way, if I leave it up to the robot, it's like, hey, are you still there? I don't know what it's going to say or do.
Mhm.
Is there a way for me to control that, like send a meme or something like that?
So we don't have a static revive attempt, but I did see another person ask for that, so I wrote it down on our wish list. I think that's something we can add. Right now we have two types of kind of revive settings. One of them is the opening message attempt. This will allow you to, basically open the conversation again when someone doesn't respond. And then the other one is the in stage revive attempt. And the in stage one is a context aware revive attempt. So, you might have seen other, kind of chatbot type of things say, "Are you there?" Right? And it just always says that. So if you go to the next stage, it might say it again, "Are you there?" But this one's going to be contextually aware. So instead of it being hard coded, it's gonna, say like, let's say I was in this test chat mode. You can sign up for the trial here, like, and then it might say, "Hey, did you have any questions signing up for the trial? Right? Are you still interested?" Right? So it's gonna say something a little more context aware.
Okay.
But you can change that and
So we
basically
can change
customize
the
that.
we can change the time frame, but we can't necessarily control what the message is.
You could control the message now that I think about it, actually, if we just use the flow. So we could use the automation flow to just trigger an SMS on the automation flow builder. Then you can send a static message. But here in this page, you can't do it yet on this
Okay.
page. Yeah.
Um, so what you just said, I don't understand exactly.
Okay. Let
You
me.
don't have to go super deep on it, but could you give me like a surface scrape? And the only reason that I'm asking is One thing that I know is going to happen is I've talked to thousands of people is, people be people and they just bail out. And I don't necessarily want to count on a robot to be doing my follow up because there are certain messages that I've I've known to work, like
Mhm.
sending the little Pablo Escobar waiting meme. That works great every time. Like just little things like that. Like, did you get eaten by a walrus?
Yeah.
Like just stupid crap like that. So, is there any way? Can you show me what that would look like in this flow you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. And I just made a note of that so we can get that added for you. And maybe we'll put Pablo in there as the default revive message. But let me show you what you can do. So these actions you see here a lot, you can use this to revive a conversation. You can use it when someone hits this stage, right? When someone's ready to sign up, let's trigger some action. And one of those actions is a flow, an automation. So automations allow us to do, just about anything you can think of. So I can come in here and say, let's send someone a message. So do SMS. And so here you can just go ahead and put your Pablo meme as an MMS, right? And so this automation will run every time you trigger it, and it can be triggered on the revive attempt. You can also just do something simple like maybe you want to tag people. Now we have the tag feature in there, but I'm just going to create the flow with the tag just to show you. So call this a Pablo. I spelled that wrong. Pablo tag. You can pretend that's an SMS, but since we don't have the SMS turned on yet, I'm just going to use this one, which is a tag. Call this the Pablo flow. Publish this. Now we can trigger that automation anytime there's a revive. So if someone doesn't reply after 8 hours, let's add them to the Pablo meme flow, right? Get their attention again.
Ah, okay. So then, if that's the case, then I can pre-write a sequence of 3 to 5 text messages that are sent out and dripped over a period of time.
Mhm.
And then at any point, if they respond, that kills the flow.
That will kill the flow because the flow just is that one message. It does the message and it's done, right? So, yep.
But if they respond to the message, then that puts them right back in to.
Yep. If they respond to the message, just picks up where it is in the stages and progresses the conversation. And if they stop responding again, right, every stage has its own revive settings. And so a
Okay.
good thing to do is actually, make sure you don't have revive on, the last stage. And you can see by default, it didn't do that. If someone
Yeah.
says not interested, you don't want to be like, are you still there? Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. All right, great. I think I have a good idea of how this works. Is there any other kind of big cool thing that's worth showing that might be beneficial to other people that might watch this recording?
Yeah, so I think that the biggest benefit, like we talked about, is I think being able to separate the AI employees to have one for each specific goal. We talked about how you can make one of these AI employees kind of on the back end of your coaching product. And so for that, I would create another AI employee doing the exact same process we just did. And for the AI training data, instead of just giving it maybe your public website, you can upload, like PDFs. I don't know what you have the material in on the back end, but uh,
Yeah, so that's a great question. And do you have just a couple more minutes?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so here's an example. Inside of Focus Self, we have a collection of trainings.
Hmm.
One of them is how to write a great sales script.
Hmm.
One of them is how to do a time study.
Hmm.
One of them is how to hire a virtual assistant.
Hmm.
And we do have it all written. We also have videos as well. And
Hmm.
so basically, we would just give the bot access to the back end of the website, which is password protected. I'm assuming we can figure out a way to do that.
Yeah, we don't have a way for it to log in to the website now, but I'm gonna write that one down too.
Just as an example, that's all inside of the membership,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
So
And
in
so
this
if we're wanting to
scenario,
digest all of that stuff, we need
mhm,
to we need to give it the information somehow.
yeah. So the best way we have now to do that would be to upload files or copy and paste content. So like we could get, let's say the
I
transcript of
understand,
the
yeah. So
okay.
just to instead of giving them access to the back end of the website, we take
Hmm.
all the data that's
Hmm.
in the website and put it into like one big giant document, and then that way you can reference it
Yeah, you can literally just do a,
like
control
that.
A, control B, copy paste the
Oh,
whole
exactly.
text. There's no like limit on there. So
Okay, I
basically,
get that. And then at that point, if somebody says, if somebody's in the membership and they say, well, hey, I have a question about hiring a VA, can you help me? I say,
hmm
sure, what's your, well, where do I start? And then it can go and look through all of the steps and say, well, the first thing that you need to do is define your role clearly, if that's in there or something like that.
yep, 100%.
All right,
100%.
great.
Yep,
That's that's actually that's actually really sexy.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, because one of the this is new. For anybody that might be watching this, we're brand new. We're launching this now, and one of the walls that I know I'm going to run into as soon as I hit a critical mass with this is um, I'm offering something that is not robotic, that's not entirely like automated on
Hmm.
purpose. I'm offering human interaction
Hmm.
and and a one-on-one person who's going to be working with you to make sure that you just get your shit done, that you've got clear goals, and that somebody's holding you accountable. That's like 80% of the value of this.
Hmm.
But there's all this other stuff where they have questions along the way that probably a machine can answer.
Hmm.
And that takes the pressure off of me having to hire like five more people to handle the volume because I can have people that are just focused on handling the relationship and not the technical stuff.
Hmm. Not only that,
That
and the
makes a lot of
people
sense.
get like immediate responses, right? So they're not waiting for someone to text them back or you're in a queue. It's just AI is just right there, snappy.
Yep.
So,
And then we can set it up in, as you showed me before, we can set it up into if you don't know how to answer this, it's hold for a manual review. And then at that point, we're answering 20% of the queries instead of 100%
yeah.
because 80% of it could be handled with a machine anyway.
Yep. Yep. And I would say anytime you get that example of the AI employee didn't know the response, when a human answers it, you can actually edit the message and then give it a thumbs up and it adds it to the training data. So next time it's going to know the answer. So you're kind of like training it as you go, even if you have a manual interaction like that.
That's kick ass.
Yeah.
I love that. And the only, not to be too greedy on this, but the last question that I would have is, will it like reach out and hold people accountable so I don't have to hire coaches? Probably
That's a
not.
great question. Um,
Let me
that's,
show you. So I'll tell you just a quick idea of what it is. And
mhm.
it's and I don't know if you want to keep the recording going for your stuff, cool. But if this is
Yeah,
like
yeah,
too bizarre,
100%. I want people to see the whole process for like the onboarding and
yeah.
everything, how that works. So,
Okay, great. So what it is it's one-on-one accountability coaching. And
hmm
the primary thing that they're going to be doing is at the beginning of the week, we fill out a form. It's called Start Line. This is what I'm focusing on this week. These are my
hmm
goals. These are my tasks. And then the coach just stays in touch with them throughout the week. Cool. Those are great goals. They're checking in. How you doing on your goals? Do you need any help? Do you want us to jump
hmm
on a call? Do you need some resources? And then at the end of the week, they fill out another form called Finish Line,
hmm
which says, these were my goals, and this is what I actually did objectively.
hmm
And so we're pretty much bookending every 7 day kind of window there.
hmm
We could probably automate the majority of that, uh,
hmm
but I'm curious, could we automate anything else
hmm
that is still just kind of giving them the experience of somebody checking in with them, and obviously human beings are monitoring this, but Is there a way that we can take the manual labor off of the human so that the human is just focusing on making sure that they get what they need?
Mhm. Absolutely. So I think the best fit for that would actually be to use the automations, because the automations will give you that control over the first message, right? And maybe that's a message you send out like every 7 days. So we can drag a step that says send SMS, wait 7 days, send SMS, wait 7 days. And you can, have that message say, hey, did you accomplish this goal this week? And when they reply to that message, the AI employee can pick up the conversation,
Hmm.
right? So, and just the fact that it has that first message in there as the context, it already knows like how the conversation is going. The person said, no, I didn't accomplish X goal. So now I can walk them through the stages. So I would probably set up an AI employee for that to inquire, like maybe the goal of that is to inquire, why the user did or did not finish their goal and get them back into the course that helps with that specific goal. Something along those lines. Right.
Okay, so just to feedback what I heard from you, we can send them a message at the end of the week that says, "Hey, did you accomplish your goals this week? Yes or no?"
Hmm.
And they say, "No, I missed on blah blah blah." Okay, cool, no problem. Uh, what do you need from me
Hmm.
to make sure that next week you accomplish your goals? Do you feel like you need to set a more conservative goal, or do you need more assistance? Like it can basically be trained to answer in that way. I
Yeah,
can teach it how to
100%.
do that.
And let's just, if you got time still, we can just create it and kind of knock
Yeah,
it out.
yeah.
See what it
It's better. Yeah, it would be way better if you did it than me because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
All right, cool. Let's do it. So,
I've been doing this for the amount of time that we've been on this Zoom. So
yep. Well, these are fun. I like creating these and get to see how show everyone how kind of
yeah,
versatile and
and
easy it
and
is.
so and so feel free to just be generic about this because
Mhm.
I'll be able to go in and modify it. But the idea is this: every Monday they fill out a start line. Every Friday they fill out a finish line, and it's inside of our software. It would be basically the same link. We can give them a specific link, and it's the same link every time.
Mhm.
Uh, and the start line is what are the goals I'm trying to accomplish this week, and the
Mhm.
finish line is did I accomplish those goals or not, and if not, why not?
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So I'm just going to tell the AI employee you're reaching out to people every Monday to see if the user
Friday.
accomplished their goal for the week. Uh,
Monday is to help them set their goals
okay.
for accountability. Friday is to see if they accomplish them.
Okay. Leave the comments for the goals of the week. If they did not, then we want to ask them why not and offer any assistance they need to get them going, such as, what was it?
Uh, Setting a more conservative goal
Such as setting a
or getting extra support.
more, or getting extra support. It's our priority that every user uh, gets the support uh, they need to accomplish the weekly goal.
Yeah.
All right. So it could be something as simple as that will give us, I think, a pretty good starting point. So conversation purpose, users are expecting us to reach out to them every Friday to check in on if they completed their weekly goals. All right, so again, we can just do this, let's say business coaching, company name, focus, ELF. We can make this Bob, I guess, this time. We can always change it later.
Yeah.
And this will be
All
the
good.
success coach.
Yeah, we're going to call it is this an official title? We're just going to call it a project manager.
Project. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, Bob, the project manager. And so let's see what it
Sounds
came
like
back.
such a corporate stiff, man. Bob, the project manager. I just watched Office Space last night. They had at this theater, they have like time capsule movies. And so
Mm.
we watched that with the Bobs, the consultants,
I love
laying
Office
everybody
Space.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, man. This is really neat. I wasn't expecting this. I was just looking for a way to answer people's questions before they bought, but uh, you know, this this is pretty attractive because I've been trying to figure out. I've been around entrepreneurs. I work with more than 5,000 entrepreneurs, and the biggest problem that most of them have is not, that next shiny object thing that they seek. It's not the next sales strategy or hack. They just need to do the things that they said they were going to do.
Hmm.
And if they could just do those, it like opens up the floodgates for sales and success and releasing and reducing stress. Um, and it's unfortunately just a very manual task, and that's why most people don't do it.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to figure out, like, how do I put together something that's not very expensive, that still gives people the skeleton of what they need to maximize their productivity,
Hmm.
and having a little bit of AI assistance on this, I think will make it 10 times easier for us, and probably a better product for the customers as they come in.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
and plus I got to get them to stick because I got a 14-day trial. I got to make sure that they have a good experience so that they stick around and actually pay me, because I'm not going to make a living off of $7 trials.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we feel the pain because we have a $1 trial. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, 7 times worse. No, just kidding. Okay, so this is what I came up with. I already see some things out of the gate we need to tweak a little bit, like the vision. Again, that closing, stage wasn't set. But let's see what I came up with. So we got some opening messages. Bob here from Focus ELF, just checking in on your progress with your weekly goal. Now, since you're going to be sending this message, the opening message from an automation flow, you can actually completely ignore what this opening message says, because the customer is going to be replying to the message you sent in an automation as opposed to this message going out. And so just to explain that point really quick, the AI employee has two modes it can work, manual mode or hunting mode. So in hunting mode, it's going through your contacts and leads and it's sending that first message. But in manual mode, right, you tell it, basically an incoming message is going to trigger that. So, or you can assign like one-off people to the employee. So I'll show you where you can do that in the automation. We'll come back to that in a minute. But right here, we got introduction, introduce yourself, check in on their progress. Great. Inquire about the progress, offering support, addressing queries, right? And we can go in and tweak this, but let's just chat with it and see how it's doing. So what's something you would expect, customer to say?
Not very good. I got sidetracked by a customer issue.
All right. Sorry to hear that. Dealing with customer issues can be challenging. Is there anything specific that's been holding you back?
That's not a great contextual response, but I
Mhm.
would say a better answer to that might be, is there anything specific about that issue
Mhm. Mhm.
that has, you know, kept you just like I don't know. It's not a terrible answer, but it's like, if
Mhm.
I got that, I would be a little bit confused.
Yeah, it can be kind of like I just told you, right?
Yeah, it's like
Like it's
I
kind of like
just
I just
answered your question, Bob. Come on.
answered your question. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is where we can improve the instructions, right? And so let's look at this. Uh, Inquire about the user's progress. Um, So it's because we kind of have like duplicate, stages here. Introduction, very similar, talking about checking progress. So we can go ahead and uh, remove some of this, explain the purpose of the call. We can remove some of that. So introduction is going to be more just like introduction. Checking progress is going to be, we could clarify this. So it says if they haven't achieved their goal, ask them about the challenges they face and what hinders their progress.
Yeah, I mean those are good instructions.
Already told you. And okay, so now we're just going to say if the customer has not already told you why, then ask them. Cool. Offering support. If the user has not achieved their goal, emphasize with them and offer support. Okay. Perfect. And then, okay, now I can kind of try it again. I'm just going to send the same message here. Let's see what it comes back with. So on here again,
Yes,
it's
that's
going
exactly what I would have asked.
okay, exactly what you would ask. So I'm sorry to hear
That's
that.
when earlier when I was trying to like, oh, I don't know if I can get that specific, but that's exactly what I would have asked. What
Uh,
specific challenges did you face with like what happened?
yeah,
Basically. What happened?
awesome, awesome. And so what would you say next?
Uh,
And look at this too. It picked up the sentiment slightly negative right there. So
I don't know. I would let's use an example. My this happened earlier. One guy said my team dropped the ball on project delivery, and I had to step in. So I've been working nonstop on that.
so, uh, cool. And again, we haven't even put in your website or any training data on here
Sure.
yet for the
Yeah, yeah.
employee. So it says, I understand how challenging that can be. It's important to prioritize and manage your workload effectively. Is there anything specific I can do to support you in setting a more achievable goal for next week?
That's kind of like that was a tone deaf response. And so, is there a way that we can? What do we do? Because that's basically like, oh, I understand, but you need to prioritize better. Which it was like, I know that, but a fire got set,
Mhm,
and
mhm,
then how do I get a more achievable goal for next week? But you're not addressing the issue, which was you got sidetracked this week. It was like
mhm,
an unexpected thing, and I wonder
mhm,
if there's a way to put in the instructions like, because this is something that happens a lot. Uh,
mhm,
Everybody starts with great intentions, and then some bullshit comes up where it's like everything's on fire, and I got to go and run and put out the fires because I'm a professional firefighter, right? And it's like cool, but the better question to ask is like, why why did you end up having to turn your attention towards that when you already had goals?
mhm,
Why are you having to split your focus? And it's like that's what if my coaches would ask that question, like, okay, cool, I understand that, I appreciate it, but
mhm.
you understand what I'm saying? I don't know if I can if
I,
I'm
I think so. And so I think the main thing is here is we just put in the instructions, and these are the default ones, right? It just says
yeah.
offer support and assistance, right? And so let's actually explain what that is. So what would you say? Emphasize with their situation and
Empathize with their situation and help clarify uh, why they fell off track, or help clarify why the issue came up. Would that be? What do you think?
so emphasize the situation, help clarify why the issue came up that derailed their progress hitting the
Uh-huh.
goal.
Uh-huh.
Their goal. Uh,
And and then uh, I would also say, um, help them discover uh, ways to contain these types of issues in the future.
Types of issues in the future. Okay.
Example, for example, um, just basic prioritization.
As such as
Um,
offering assistance with prioritization or
yeah,
suggesting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm so glad you're doing this because I would go in here and I would get those answers and then this is stupid, and then I wouldn't have time to deal with it, and yeah, and then
Mhm.
you're just like, well, let's just fix the problem.
Yep.
And you're doing it, and it's like I wouldn't have understood that it's just easy to just change the instructions that
Mhm.
writing.
Awesome. I think that's great because we can make the video and other people can see exactly what we do, through just tweaking it and getting it to work. So
Yeah, so
appreciate that.
basically, if I'm a human being and my job is to check in with somebody every week and ask if they hit their goal, and they say, "No, I got sidetracked by, this other emergency."
Hmm.
First thing I want to do is say, "Man, I'm sorry that happened. Why?
Hmm.
Can you help me understand? Tell me more about the issue." And then I tell you more about the issue. And
Hmm.
now at this point, it's like, okay, cool. Totally get that. What are some ways we can avoid these types of issues coming up in the
Hmm.
future? I'm not ready to change the goal yet because
Hmm.
I haven't dealt with the problem of you got sidetracked. I want to
Hmm.
do that like, all right, cool. I understood that you got sidetracked by this emergency. What can we do to make sure you don't get sidetracked in the future? Like you go and put out the fire, cool. But how do we prevent it from happening again?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. And this is where, we can literally put anything we want in these stage instructions. They can be super detailed. We can even give examples like exactly what you just said. I would write that in here,
Okay.
right? Like what does it take? And I don't remember the wording exactly, but you could just put
Sure.
exactly in here, and that's going to be enough to train the AI to respond how
Got
you
it.
want it to respond.
So right here in this conversation stage instructions, I can actually just give like if then examples.
Yeah, exactly. If then,
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
And add as many as you want. There's no rhyme or reason to it for that.
And then that would be, for instance, if we did it there in the instructions, that would allow the bot to answer with context instead of specific verbatim answers.
Yep.
That would be the difference between, oh, if somebody says this, answer this, then it would just be like cold, like these words. But if I put it in the instructions, then it would answer in context.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm just gonna paste these same
Yeah.
answers right here. I'm gonna see what the difference is. Right. So here we are on number 3. What do you think of that one?
It's okay. Better than the last one.
Yep.
It's still pretty generic, but I understand now that you went through that exercise. I can
Hmm.
give an example.
Hmm.
If somebody doesn't accomplish their goal because something came up, here's the type of question you can ask.
Hmm. Yep.
And then they can take that and change the wording to make it fit into the conversation. Am I understanding
Hmm.
that correctly?
Yep, 100%. And you could just say, you know, offer support such as, all right, and you can just go on and make, a list. You can even put in some example responses you would give in quotes and say, if a customer had problems with time management, I would say something like, quote, and
Yeah.
then type it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's really what this process is about is really just testing the instructions, making sure we got enough detail in there for the AI. Now, since this particular AI employee is going to be used with lots of different types of goals, right? You may have more instructions in here, like because you have different goals every week, right? So you may have a lot more instructions. but that's fine. I mean, you just plug in the details. You may even want to use this to, address or tag people that, haven't reached their goals. Maybe they need a human touch in there too. So in here, you can see this stage and offering support says if the user has not achieved their goals, then do this, right? So maybe we can tag these people as like, goal not reached, goal not met, right? Something like that. So now anyone that hits this stage, they get tagged in the system. So when you're checking out your contacts, you can, filter people by people who are not hitting their goals or are hitting their goals. Or you can use this data to maybe do an email list of people that didn't meet their goals this week, something like that.
Okay. And we can access those contexts directly in here, or we can send them to a CRM.
Yep, everything's in the CRM by default. So if you go into contacts, it'll start creating contacts in here, as it's collecting leads or information in here. So the contacts will have a tag. You'll be able to see the history of these people. So it'll all be under contacts.
Okay.
Yep.
And I meant like my own CRM.
I said, oh yeah. So which one are we using again?
Active Campaign.
Active Campaign. So we got a webhook and an API. We can try to get set up with that under communication tools.
Yeah, and no need to do that on this call, but yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we can do that offline.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, letting us share this and with the community and letting everyone see kind of the process. We built two of these guys together, so appreciate that. Did you have any other questions or anything else I can answer for you?
No, I think we're good, man. No, I appreciate that. I'm gonna put if you can give me this recording, I'll put my project manager on this immediately to build it out because we're imminent for launching. Supposed to launch tomorrow, but
Awesome.
I don't know if we'll get there or not, but we should be pretty close.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, and I hope that hope that's a smooth launch and everything goes really well. And thanks again for signing up. So appreciate you.
Yeah, Mike, thanks for your time, man. And we'll connect here on the other end. And can you get me whatever in this community? Can you send me an invite?
Yep, I definitely will do. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, man. Take care.
Bye. Thanks.